How to tell if your spirit guides are communicating with you. Hi everybody, I am Cassandra Finch and I'm the owner of Phoenix School of Alignment and I do spirit guide readings. So when it comes to spirit guides, I've heard many of my clients say I've never communicated with them, I don't even know how to, they don't communicate with me, it's not something I can connect to, and I completely understand that. But please do understand that your spirit guides are always trying to communicate with you in some way. It just might not be how you think they are going to communicate with you. So for example, many of my clients that have said this, once I've gone through all their spirit guides, how they actually show up and how they actually impulse them, meaning how they actually try to show them that they're here, trying to give them guidance. Once I told them those things, they're like, oh my gosh, this happens to me like every other day. And I had no idea that this is what this was. So it gave them clarity and also a way to know when their spirit guides are coming in. That way they can talk to them more effectively. Plus, your spirit guides aren't always going to talk to you the way that we talk to each other, through words and conversation. Sure, that can happen over time if you're working with your sense of clairaudience. And when that happens, they're also not going to give you these big lofty messages. You know how you see on social media where they're like, oh, beloved, this big, huge, crazy message that's 50 paragraphs long. That's not how they communicate, actually. They're going to give you advice that is specific to you, specific to your soul, specific to your life lessons, specific to what you're creating. They're not going to give you these distorted, weird, vague, for everyone kind of message because they're not really guiding you if they're doing that. So they're there to be very specific for you and to help you through certain times in your life. Now, they can't do this if you don't let them. So you do have to actually say, hey, I'm open for your guidance, and actually try and connect with them in that way. Because they want you to have the experience that you want to have. And since we all have free will, sometimes we don't make the best choices for ourselves. And they're here to remind us to get back on track. So how to know if they're actually communicating with you? There's many different ways, but one of my favorites that have come up when I'm working with my clients is random songs. They will try and connect through songs a lot of the time, and very specific songs. And those very specific songs have very specific lyrics that usually land with the client. And when I tell the client these songs, they're like, oh my gosh, I don't even like this song yet. It comes up all the time. And it's always in my head. So they knew at that point when that song comes up, it's really their guide trying to connect with them. Now, some other ways that might happen as well is certain shivers in the body, certain areas of the body, like you might feel shivers going up your spine. You might feel that sense of like a light touch or a cool breeze. Sometimes it's a specific scent. Like a lot of my clients, they've had scent of either lavender or rose, or depending on who it is, it might have like a musk type smell, right? There's very specific scents that they can't put a name to or understand why. It's just that it's there, right? Or they might have this overwhelming sense of gratitude and love. They might have these feelings that wash over them that normally don't, right? Like these positive, really good, healthy emotions. You might also get drawn to certain things. So they're always trying to connect with you in some way. And with one of my guides, what they draw me to all the time is to look at a certain constellation. That's how I know when they're really trying to get my attention, is they draw me to the stars. And I know that there's quite a few months where that constellation is not visible for me, but it's still like if I get drawn to look, then I know that's really that spirit guide trying to connect. So they can connect through that sense of smell. They can connect through that clairaudience, so songs, words, things like that. The other thing that they will do is show you images and pictures in your mind's eye. You might not see them physically, and that's okay. That is subjective seeing, and not everyone can do that. Well, in my opinion, everyone can do anything that they want in that way when it comes to intuition, but it takes time to get that subjective seeing skill really online. Some people naturally have it, most of us don't. But you can work on that and have that subjective seeing. So the other way that they will, bring that in, so subjective seeing, sure, but then in your mind's eye, you will get those images. You will get almost like a feeling or a response to something that you're questioning or talking about. And it might seem very subtle, but trust me, when you know what that impulse is, it becomes very clear day to day that they're trying to communicate with you. So all you need to do is just be open, ask for their guidance and support, and be open to receiving that. And remember, your spirit guides can't tell you what to do. They can only support you. in your highest alignment. They can't interfere unless you've given them permission. And they can't tell you what to do. They can't say, you have to do this. No, they're going to remind you of who you are and remind you of the path best suited to you, but then it's up to you to choose. And they just stand back and watch and observe. So their main role is to observe action and consequence. So while we may look at our spirit guides as, wow, they're so amazing, they're so omniscient, they know everything, they actually don't. They're also here to learn. Sure, their vibration rate is higher than yours, and that's why they're there to guide you, but they're also learning through you. They're observing your actions and consequence, and that is how they really learn as well. So it's a really symbiotic relationship, and it's beautiful. So if you would like some extra help connecting with your spirit guides, I am working with feminine entrepreneurs, business owners, spiritual women, and we can absolutely go into that. And you can do that at phoenixschoolofalignment.com, and the links will also be in the comments. But I would also love to hear from you. If you've ever connected with your spirit guide, how did you know they were there? What were your signs? Thank you.